So you can check out there's a 5 to 7 minutes at the beginning, and after my speech, I'm going to conduct the Q&A session. So for the Q&A session, you can check the time to 2 to 3 minutes. So at first, you are going to show there's 5 minutes, and at 5 minutes, you show the green, and 6 minutes yellow, and 7 minutes and red, and after that, you are going to show there's 2 minutes and green, 2.5 yellow, and 3 minutes, and you can show me the red, and then I can manage my time. Okay. Thank you. So it's mostly the reason most people come to join the Toastmasters is to speak English well, right?
Yes.
So also is I have the same reason. It's when I joined the Toastmasters at the beginning. What do you think? Is my English now fluent, right?
Yes.
I don't think so. That's why I prepared this topic. How can we speak fluently in English? So when I joined the Toastmasters since 2007, the time I really practice a lot to speak English fluently. But it doesn't improve as much as I expected. That's why I almost dropped down. And then I'm looking for is another club. Which one is the Korean speaking Toastmasters? From that time, I really focus on practice public speech in Korean, not English. That's why even though I joined Toastmasters more than this decade, 10 years, more than 10 years, but my English still stagnant. It's not improved. It's more than I expected. That's why I prepared. Why is my English doesn't improve to the next level? Why still my English level is stagnant? It's not for this next level. So I think the first one is I really make a lot of effort to avoid any situation can communicate in English, especially with the foreigners. Why? Why I try to avoid it, even though I attend the Toastmasters meeting? Why? I make a lot of effort to avoid to communicate with them, especially the native speakers. Why? Because I don't want to be humiliated. I want to save my face. You know why? I'm handsome. That's why. At least I want to be looking for these idiots to those, especially the native speaker and foreigners. That's why I want to avoid those kind of situations. And the result is my English is the same. It's not quite improved as much than I expected. And also second reason, to speak in English fluently, so you have to make a more, it's not only effort, but also you have to spend lots of time. But imagine how many hours do you usually spend for practicing or reading, listening, and speaking? How many hours do you spend your time for that? For me, I think it's less than an hour. And sometimes I watching movie, it's an English movie, but with a Korean subtitle, it doesn't help at all to improve my English, right?
Yes.
And that's why I consider it. I spend less time to practice and study and learn English. 2 reasons. I try to avoid any occasion, circumstances, and situation communicating English with people. And second reason is I didn't spend enough time to practice and learn English. So now I found a solution. How can I change it? The most important is I don't have any strong why. Why I have to learn English? Why I have to practice English? I don't have any strong why. When I'm looking back, it's my situation. You have a strong why. Why you want to study English? Why you want to speak English fluently? Why? You have a strong motivation you have?
Yes.
You have. But I don't have. That's why this time I try to find out why I have to keep attending Toastmasters meeting and try to practice English. And my why is I want to expand my scope. I want to be the global leader to communicate with another global leaders. That's why I keep practicing English. And that's one of the reasons to attend the Toastmasters meeting. That's why I try to find is my strong why again. I want to communicate with another global leaders. That's the strong why. And how to practice English. That's why it's one of the New Year's resolution is I practice English more. And first one is I spend more time to practice English and study English. And another one is I increase more time, looking for more time, more chances to deliver in speech. That's why I joined the Swan Toastmaster to deliver more speeches. My plan is I deliver at least one speech per week.
Wow.
That's why I joined the Swan Toastmasters and Gangnam Morning Toastmasters recently, and I joined this another one, Yeongtong Toastmasters. And sooner or later, I'm going to create this another English Toastmasters club in Gwangju.
Wow.
Yeah, Green Forest Library. And so, name of Toastmasters could be the Green Forest Toastmasters. And I think there are more chances, and I have more chances to speak fluently, I think. And another is what? How can I do that? So that's why at least I am going to set a time 2 hours, and it's not 2 hours too much. It's right now. At least 1 hour I'm going to read the book, and for 3 minutes per day. And also I'm going to listen. Also, any is inspirational speech. And also I'm going to deliver speech. As I mentioned, is at least one speech per week. And if I complete those things, maybe my English level could be much better than now. I think. So you will see how can I change it. It's at the end of this 2020, I think. So I'm going to ask the same question. So if you want to speak English fluently, why? Why you want to improve your English to the next level? Why? Why you want to speak English fluently? And second one is how? How can you improve it? How can you move your English to the next level? How? And what? What is your specific plan? How can you achieve it? Can you write down? First on why? Why you want to improve your English? And second one is how. And then now we are going to motivate by yourself, and then your goal could come close to you. Okay, thank you. And thank you very much for my speech. And I'm going to conduct a Q&A session, 2 to 3 minutes. So after listening to my speech, you have any questions? You can raise your hands. And you can
I'm
ask.
sure that I'm sure that you are very busy with your business to make a living. So my question is, how do you set aside time to study English?
It's a really good question. Honestly, I'm not busy. I have lots of time. Someone said I'm rich in time, and that's why I can spend lots of time as much as I want to study English and these other things. And also, time is I think is very subjective, very subjective. So if you look back, so your whole daily life was one day. So when you from those waking up to go to bed, maybe you can find out many times to waste. It's not waste, but it's not quite valuable to your life. So you can find out the right time to practice and study and learning and reading.
Right.
Thank you.
I would like to know do you have a plan to humiliate yourself to talk with foreigners?
I'm still humiliated It's even though now I'm humiliated. Because if I satisfy with my speech, maybe I feel confident, but it's not always fully satisfied with my contentions, my speech, and my delivery. That's why when I observe my performance, it was not that good enough. But I still feel shameful and also disgraced. But also it's kind of some, how can I say? I think it's muscle. It's if you have more expose yourself in those uncomfortable situation, maybe you can build up the kind of those muscle. So it means we need to be more vulnerable, yeah, to see any kind of failures. Without failures, there is no success. I think that's why I try to be more to be vulnerable. I think.
Thank you.
That's why it's one tip is that these days I try to traveling club to club and join the TED topic session. One of my weaknesses is not want to be the impromptu speech because there is not the situation I expected. That's why maybe I jump myself into the TED topic session in different club.
I have a question. So, do you have any particular goal to fluent in English?
Sorry?
Do you have any particular goal to be fluent in English?
Yeah, fluency is not quite measurable. It's a goal. That's why I have more key result. Key result means more specific. It's a goal and target. If I achieve those specific target, the kind of stepping stone, and maybe my fluency can be better than now. That one is the number of speeches. That's why my specific target is I'm going to deliver one speech, at least one speech per week. It means I'm totally this year maybe I'm going to deliver more than 50 speeches.
So, as you said, so you don't have any big why. So the reason I ask you like that. So yeah. So as you said, so motivation is a kind of big energy to improve our skill like that. So that's why. So yeah, every each people has need to have a certain motive to make improvement, something new like that. So that's why I asked you like that. Any particular
That's
goal?
why it's most important is we need to find out the strong why. The strong why comes from us, from me. It's not from these others. That's why you have to some time to think about why I need to practice English.
So the reason why we both suffer from same problem. So that's why I was really inspired a lot.
What is the same
problem?
Same problem. What kind of same problem?
For me, so I'm here to be more strong, being offended a lot. So that's why. So I feel like really afraid of being like all in front of a lot of audience like that. So yeah, I think so. We have a kind of same goal, to improving our skill. So
I agree with that.
Yeah. And do I have time to ask you?
시간 passed.
Yeah, then
Time is over.
yeah, I'm
Time
alright.
is over. Okay. Additionally, I'm going to receive you one more question. So
Okay,
this last one. Yeah.
Yeah, and these days, some 영어 학원 is unbelievably expensive, even for students. So when you do you think that the more you spend the money, the more you can achieve the goal for improving your English? Do you think, or do you use any good resources which is free? So the resource, what kind of resources do you use when you study? Like applications or what book or movie, video?
I think that's why it's important thing is finding out why, strong why. That's more important. For high school, they have a different why. Maybe university, they have a different why. and also workers like some. Also, we have different why.
Mhm.
So personal why is important. Why we have to study English, and then if you have a strong why, there are lots of resources we can find. So, when I used to went to the high school, English is kind of subject to study, but it's not. It's our life. It's our life. It's a separating. But I think if we speak fluent English, it means we have to live with it. It's not the study. It's not the subject to study. If you're subject to study, we cannot fluent. It's kind of we have the. Even though we know the word, we cannot speak it. It's the same way. Okay? So if we speak fluent, if you want to speak fluently, means you have to live with it, and also we have to practice. It's not the information. It's practice a lot. That's why even though it's at first my answer is simple. And first one is finding strong why I have to study, and second one is there are lots of resources. It means you have to. It's all different person. They have their one method to study and learn fast. That's why they have to find their one resource, and then they can identify their one way fluency. I think this kind of is a characteristic. Each different people they have different methods to learn fast. That's why if you have to find out the strong why, and they easily find out there's this method how to develop their English or other language. That's my perspective. It's not an answer.
Oh yeah, no, it sounds good.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.